Hey folks, today we are revisiting an old project. We are revisiting the portal gun I made a couple of months ago. Someone in the comments by the name of The Real Plastic Tree 1 asked for a build tutorial, and I thought, great, actually, yes, I've not actually finished this project, and the instructions that came with it, which is filed by this guy on printables, there is a link to a tutorial. It's in Spanish, but it's not really breaking down which pieces fit to what. It's more component based of how to get the electronics working. I won't be covering the electronics because I'm still trying to figure that out myself. But yeah, basically I'm just going to go over which parts go where, because I got confused and made a little mistake previously. So I tried disassembling as much as I could. They all have been glued. So this is actually 3 components. You've got the section which houses the components, you've got the light tube, and then you've got the front end. Now the front end goes on to the part of the tube where you have these fins. I made the mistake and put this down here. But luckily I rectified that, glued it all together, and got the main foundation of the build. Second then is the back end of the housing. This flat piece here. This goes somewhat like that. Try and get it flush. There are little holes that line up, so you can add little dowels to guide where each piece goes. Make sure it's the right orientation. All holes pointing up. Now these all get locked in by the side panels. Now the side panel is annoyingly made up of 2 parts. So you've got to do some Bondo, get some Bondo action on there to fill that seam. But the best way I've found to make sure everything is aligned is to get a Q-tip or a earbud, cut it to size, just pop the top off like so. And then what you want to do is place maybe 1 or 2 in there like so, bit of a squeeze, and then you want to get the edges glued up, and then that inserted into the corresponding hole, push down. You want it glued so it somewhat stays aligned throughout the process. While that's drying, let's take a look at the arms. So we've got 3 pieces, 3 components. We've got the tip, we've got the forearm, and the hinge bicep, shall we say. Now this is where things get a little bit finicky. There are these little pieces which really do need cleaning up, but they also, because of how small the holes are, need to be re-punctured. I do this with a soldering iron. Go in there, just make a big hole for these arms, so it hinges on there. It's very, very finicky. But what you will get eventually is, once you've attached them to the plugs, let's call them, I really need names for these, you'll get something like this. So you've got the blade arm, the forearm, bicep, and then you've got these little finicky bits at the end there. This then gets attached to one of these tiny little arms. That goes there. It's basically just for decoration. Very, very finicky. I can see why I didn't finish this project, because I don't really have the tools to do it. But yeah, once you have this, the arms then go, one goes on top here, and then the other 2 go on the base plate here, here, Now the base plate, again, is quite tricky to join. You can tell which way around it goes because of those little arms. Where are they gone? These little arms, they fit into the back, so they're closest to you on the side there. So that's how you know which is the front and which is the back. Then this should slot in quite nicely, like so. Okay, so I've let things dry, so let's crack on, shall we? So what we're going to do is use this as a lock to lock the front to the back. Now, you know which way around it goes, because the little button here marries up with this little cutout. So button, back in, flush. Delightful. And now it comes to adding the arms, which I said before can get a little tricky. But you have the top one, like so, like that. So that threads through there, push down to lock it in, break your model, and then push in. There we go. Lovely. And then the same happens on the other side. So thread through, like so. Pop that down. Again, these should be mounted on here. So pop through the holes. These smaller ones then insert in the back. There's two holes there, which these insert into. But again, I need to tidy that up. And once it's done, pop it in to the side. And there you have your portal gun. But yeah, that's a very quick video. Hopefully it's quick. But what I want to do next is look at how to house this. I have been looking at plastic tubes, folding plastic. I have these sort of face shields that I use for visors. I thought about making a tube to go here. Also, I need to power the lights. I don't think I want the LEDs exposed. I think I want them inside, but also how I power it. Now, the chap on YouTube who does the video in Spanish uses drills and God knows what to punch extra holes into this to get button access. I think he puts a button at the back here where you hold it. It's just like poof. But yeah, that will be when I start to learn more about electronics. But one final piece which fell out at the beginning. This little doohickey which pops into the front here. It does spin around, but mainly for me it falls out. But yeah, this is very rough. I still need to clean it up. Still not happy with the seams on the side. But yeah, this is the portal gun. Hey folks, Future Hayden here. I just want to do a little shout out and a thank you to the Real Plastic Tree. I had great fun revisiting this project, and I think what I want to do going forwards is to ask you what you want to see. So tomorrow I'm going to put up a poll on what project you want to see next. I've got an idea for Cubone Skull, Venom Head, Sling Ring. It's endless, but what I'll do, I'll post 4 and then see what gets any votes. any votes at all. Thanks.